Hi folks, John with the Wingman 115 channel. Thank you so much for checking in. A little bit different setting than you folks are used to seeing. Majority of the time I'm out in the woods showcasing stuff. I like to be out there. Unfortunately, there's been a lot of wildfires here in SoCal this year, so the Forest Service has shut the woods down until January 1st, but the show must go on. So we set up camp here at Fort Wingman, laid out everything, and today we're going to be talking about a brand new air gun from Benjamin Airguns. It is the Akela. Now, Benjamin has added 3 new air guns to their lineup this year, the Akela being one of them. And I've always wanted a bullpup. I've always had this fascination with these style of guns. So it was my birthday a couple months ago, and my daughter asked me what I wanted for my birthday. So, like a kid in a candy store, I went big and I asked for an Akela, and she bought me one. So I've had it for a couple months. I've gone on a couple hunting trips with it. I'm going to be honest with you, the way with all the wildfires and how everything's been, the hunting down here in SoCal has been just terrible. I have carried it around. I have video footage that I'm going to show you guys. And then I have some footage of me plinking some cans and boards at 75 yards with this. This isn't a full review on this gun. This is just a quick look. I wanted to get this out in front of you. I know that the holidays are coming and you're going to have to make decisions on what to get for the holidays. So I wanted to be able to give you folks a little bit of insight into this gun to see if it's going to be right for you, because it's not going to be right for everyone, and I'm going to mention that later on in this video. So without further ado, we're going to cut away. We're going to do a quick specs rundown of this gun. As always, we're going to show you the ins and outs of it. It don't get any better than this. Come along and join me. The video starts now. Going over hill and down in the valleys, and look at that. That's rugged country. Unfortunately, we haven't seen a lot of activity today, which is crazy. You would think with the cooler weather that they would be out, but sometimes that happens when you're out hunting. If it was easy, everybody would be out here. Let's try for that stick up on the hill. I like that stick. I like making it dance. Let's go back to Can Alley. I must say the action on this gun is buttery smooth. Got a hit, and the trigger pull it breaks really good. You know, and at the end of the day, this is what it's all about. Shooting cans, having fun. This is the reason why I got into air guns in the first place. That instant gratification. You can punch paper all day, but I mean, making a can dance out there at 75 yards, that's fun. So we got the perfect example right here of a mountain lion hide from a kill. Now, this kill's obviously been out for a long time, but mountain lions love to pull their fresh kill somewhere, either put it in a tree or put it someplace where they can come back and feed on it until it's all gone. It's just stuff you're going to find out here when you're on your walkabouts. Well, it's been pretty slim pickings today. We actually seen more hunters in here than ever before. We stopped when we were having a little chat up the way around that pond, and 2 hunters came out, a duck hunter and a deer hunter. So this place is just crawling with people. So I think we're going to work our way back out, but just beautiful day. Love it out here. This is why I love the Southwest. Just such diverse country, and just a lot of cool places to explore and see. Now for some final thoughts on the Benjamin Akela. First off, we're going to look at our side notes here real quick, because I jotted down some notes while I was out in the field. First off, we have a fully shrouded barrel, and you can put a moderator on the end of this. Now, folks were asking me if I was going to put a moderator on this gun, and my answer is probably not, and here's the reason why. They do not have a barrel band on this shrouded barrel. So if I put a moderator on there, we're adding another 3, 4, 5, 6 inches of metal, which, in my humble opinion, I think that it's going to cause the barrel to move a little bit, and I think we're going to start having accuracy issues. I'm sure there's folks out there, if you're just punching paper, you're sitting on a bench, you might not have an issue. But my concept for getting this gun was to have a hunting gun. So if you're going to walk around in the woods without a barrel band on there, I would not have a moderator on there at all. Now, it's a baffled shroud on there, so the gun is pretty quiet. And we're going to do a future video where we chrony test this gun. We also are going to test the sound. I have a sound meter, and we will do some more grouping tests with different pellets. So we are definitely going to do another video on this gun. But with the holidays coming up, I wanted to get this out in front of you so you can make an informed decision on whether this is the right fit for you as maybe a holiday present or a future purchase here in the next couple months. So if I was Benjamin, I would put a barrel band on there. It doesn't cost that much more money. Now, here's one of my pet peeves that really, I just want to say, pissed me off. Underneath the attachment point, it only has one fastener attaching to the gun, which for me is asinine. I've been using this gun as a hunting gun, and you're going around in the woods, you're in the brush, manzanita, chaparral, everything. Bipod's getting hooked on stuff. What's it doing? Spinning it. Eventually, you're going to wind up stripping out that fastener or pulling out the anchor that's up inside of the stock. So if anyone from Crossman, Benjamin, is listening, fellas, when you do your version 2, put 2 fasteners in the front. It's going to save a lot of heartache. Now, let's talk about the stock. Turkish walnut, beautiful. Really awesome looking stock. If, the big caveat, if I'm just punching paper, if I'm shooting bench, maybe field target, stuff like that. I did multiple hunting trips with this. Unfortunately, we didn't see a lot of stuff, but I carried this gun for hours on at least 3 hunting trips, and I must tell you, it was very uncomfortable. Now, a lot of folks have chimed, because I posted photos on Instagram and Facebook of this gun out in the field, and they said, John, that stock looks a lot like the stock from an FX that where they have their bullpup. So I did a little research, and sure as heck, almost spot on, looks like their stock. So I don't know who their R&D people are at Benjamin, but it looked really close to that. So with that, if ergonomically, if I had to make any changes on this stock, I would do away with this piece right here, because carrying this around ergonomically, it just was terrible carrying it around in the woods. I like to carry a gun like this, and having that piece of wood there made it really awkward. Now, let's talk about something I'm going to show you real quick. Look where the gun strap mount is in front of your bipod. So when you have your sling, it's going to be getting in the way of your bipod. It's going to be moving stuff around. It's just a bad placement of that sling stud. Eventually, I think on the next video, I'll throw a sling on there to illustrate just how awkward that's going to be. And it goes back to, remember, only having the one fastener in the front as well. So you have that sling. That sling's going to be getting caught on stuff. You're adding preload to this. I know I sound like I'm complaining, but I'm pointing these things out to you folks because you guys work hard for your money. And I don't want you to be, I want you to be happy with your purchase, is what I'm trying to say. Now, let me get up so you guys can see the front. The airport in front, I really like that. The only issue I have is I wish that this cutout was turned up and down, because it makes it really hard to get that Forstner fitting on there and off. So note to Benjamin, you need to turn this cap cover up and down. It would make it a lot easier to access. So I know I'm being a little hard on Benjamin, but if Benjamin's going to put out a product, they need to step up their game on that. Let's take it back a little bit farther. Let's talk about the trigger. Trigger was smooth, broke like glass. I really like the trigger. Has an adjustable shoe on there. Now, folks are going to ask if this trigger is adjustable, and there is a gentleman who has another YouTube channel. I'll leave a link in the video description below where he shows you how to adjust the trigger on this gun. I'm not going to show how to do mods like that for liability reasons. Hey, it's 2020. Anything can happen. So I'll leave a link in the video description below on that if you're inclined to do a modification to the trigger. Now, the safety is in the front, and the safety was really rough on this gun. I would think that a gun that retails for $500 or $600 would have a silky smooth safety on there. One, it would make you want to use it. It's really rough. You have to apply a lot of force preload. I just see it being just a pain to use. And folks are not going to use it. You're going to wind up getting a negligent discharge, and somebody's going to get hurt. So, Benjamin, take a look at that safety. It is really rough and hard to cycle that safety on this gun. Now, let's come back a little bit farther. The grip. I love the grip on here. Do away with this nonsense right here, we're good to go. The rest of the stock looks outstanding, and the walnut quality is just beautiful. So, Benjamin, we're almost there. You just need to add a little more attention to detail to this gun to just take it to the next level. Now, they're claiming that you can get up to 60 shots with this gun. And you probably can, because there's an adjustment here on the side. This is not a regulated gun, but you can control the airflow by twisting this little knurled knob right here, and that will either increase or decrease the airflow coming into the breech of this gun. It has also an indicator on the other side to show you where you're at. Now, I haven't played around with it because I'm using this as a hunting gun. If I was maybe doing field target or punching paper with it, I would turn it down, save some air. So we're going to play around with it in a future video to see how these are going to group with it on a lower setting. Now, let's talk about magazines and the action. This is the first side action gun that I've ever had the pleasure of owning, and I must say that the Akela is really buttery smooth side action. No problem there. Now, I've shot about, I want to say about 300 rounds through this air gun. I really wanted to work it, get it out in the field, test it out for you guys to be able to give you just a good, educated opinion on it. And a couple hunts ago, I was out in the woods with Nick and Jared. They're no stranger to the channel. You see them on the channel all the time. And I was having a problem getting the magazine in, and I noticed that the Allen screw that holds the cover of the magazine was starting to come loose. So luckily I carry a Leatherman Surge, and I had some tools. I was able to tighten it down and slide it back in. Fit perfect. So if you're having an issue where the magazines are getting hard to bring in, take out, you might want to check that out. Maybe put a little bit of light Loctite on there, the one that you can release without heat, and that might save you a headache if you get out in the woods. Now, you have an adjustable cheek comb on here, and you can raise it up or down, and you can move it front and back. You can also take it off where you have a rail where you can put attachments. I like it because I can index my cheekbone in a certain area. That way I can pull the gun up really quick, and that I have my eye relief. I'm not sitting there going back and forth trying to get my perfect eye relief while I'm shooting this gun. Now, let's talk about optics. Even though it isn't part of the gun, I got a tip from my good friend Dana over at Mountain Sports Airguns, and I'll leave a link to his channel in the video description down below. Great channel. If you love air guns, check him out. So I asked him, I said, hey, what sort of glass would you put on here to complement the Tacticam? And he said, John, I would definitely go with the Hawk Vantage FS. And this is a 3x12 variable scope, 44 millimeters in the front. I put a sunshade on there for obvious reasons. We're out in the woods, and sometimes you're looking into the sun, so we need a sunshade. You have side focus, really like that. Really good, clear optic. And folks are going to ask, well, John, how come you don't show photos of, groups and stuff like that? There's already a couple of videos out there of the Akela from other YouTubers doing a great job showing you groups. I want to show you real world, take it out in the woods and use it. Unfortunately, on the 3 hunting trips that I went with the Akela, as luck would have it, we didn't see any game. Part of it could be the heat, part of it could be the fires, part of it could be we're locked out of woods that we can't get to that we normally could. So, until then, I got to show you just footage of popping cans and making sticks dance and having a good time. But with that, we're going to be doing a future video where we do a chrony test, a sound test, and then we'll be using multiple different pellets and slugs to see what is really going to group good. Now, if I had to give you advice on what pellet to use going right out of the gate, first off, I would use the RWS Diablos. Now, Dana over at Mountain Sports Airguns turned me on to the RWS Diablo Heavies, and that's an 18 grain 22 caliber pellet for this gun. let me tell you what, they're hard hitting, they group good. I've never really had a problem with any of the RWS Diablos. I highly recommend them if you only can afford one pellet for your guns, whether it's a 177, a 22, or a 25 cal. I make no money off selling any of these products. I'm not here to sell. I'm just here to show you the gun, what I use, my thoughts behind it, so you folks can make a good, informed decision. So, with that, it's a wrap, folks. I'll leave links in the video description below to Benjamin on this. If I had to rate this gun on 1 to 5 stars, and you guys know how it is. 1 star, it's a dumper. We're going back to the boneyard to rework. 5 stars, it's a grand slam. I would give this gun 3 stars. This gun is a good gun. If Benjamin would listen to the users, we could make this gun a great gun. Like I said, barrel band, 2 fasteners up front and the attachment point, modify the stock. Just a few things like that would make this gun just perfect. So, as always, folks, I thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care.